Hello and welcome to the new student orientation for Laurel, Knox, and Whitley County adult education programs. Here you can earn your GED, prepare for college, or start a career pathway. My name is Ken Corso. I'm the Laurel County College and Career Navigator. If you're from Knox County, your College and Career Navigator is Anita Mills, and from Whitley County, you'll be working with Keith Barnett. After new student orientation, you'll eventually take an assessment test, and after that, we'll get together and set up a GED study test plan and career pathway plan. The GED program is designed to be done in steps. This is a first important step, however there are a number of others, so we're going to go through them and try to get you set up until such time as the coronavirus social distancing situation is resolved and you can come into the office. There are things you can do at home. First, let's do a little light housekeeping. If you haven't already filled out a paper registration form, if you're watching this video, you should have completed one by phone. If you need to update any information that you gave us in the initial phone conversation, please give us a call at the numbers listed. Another point that's really important is that when you come to take the official GED examination, you will have to present a valid Kentucky photo ID. It can either be a driver's license or a state-issued identification card, but you must have it with you or they will be unable to seat you for the test. So please remember to bring your license. We'd like to keep in contact with you. We have a number of ways of doing that. For Laurel, Knox, and Whitley County, we do have Facebook pages. If you want to, you can get messages through Facebook Messenger. Just give us a like on our Facebook page and that'll allow us to start that process. We also have informative and educational links at our web pages. For Laurel County, it's laureladulted.weebly.com, and Whitley County, it's whitleyae.weebly.com. Laurel County also uses a program called Remind.com. It's a text-based program, and we can either send out group emails or talk to you individually. If you would prefer to be contacted by phone, we'll have that on your registration page. If we call or text or messenger you, please answer us. The reason is if we don't have a two-way contact for 90 consecutive days, the system will drop you automatically and you'll have to start over. So, what does it cost to get a GED? First of all, at Skills U facilities, instructional services are free, including our online preparation programs. The $6 cost of a practice test is paid for by the state currently through the Kentucky Skills U voucher system. So once you're enrolled and you've set up your GED.com, just contact your instructor and we'll put a voucher in. The official GED exam costs $30 for each section, and there are 4 sections. So at a minimum, the cost is $120. Retests, if needed, are $10 for the next 2 attempts. If you need a 4th attempt or if you wait a year between attempts, the cost goes back to $30. This question may actually be the most frequently asked question. How long does it take to earn a GED? The answer is it depends. If you're test ready, if you stick to a plan and set goals, you can probably finish within a month. Some people will take a little longer, 2 or 3 months, but if you don't stick to a plan and you just drift in and out, it can in fact take years. The practice test has the brand name of Ready Test, and it is required by the state that you take and pass a practice test for each of the 4 sections. Much of this information about the practice test will be applicable to the official test. So there are 4 modules: language arts, which features reading, language skills, and a short written section; social studies, science, and math. And just to reassure you, this is not really a content-based test where you have to have a lot of things memorized. It's mostly a critical thinking skills test. Most of the information you will need will be presented in the material, and the math section is about the only section where you have to have a significant amount of information memorized. You'll need to know the language of geometry. You'll have to know how positive and negative numbers work and a few algebraic processes. But we'll walk you through all that. You're allowed to take the test 1 section at a time. So you can focus on the areas that you have some strengths in, knock those out, and then move on to the areas that you need more work on. The GED practice test and the official test have 200 points per test, but there are not 200 questions. There's somewhere between 30 and 50 questions per section, and they scale it up to a 200-point scale, and you only need 145 points to pass. The practice test has the same level of questions and the same grading system, so they're actually very good predictors of your success on the GED test. The costs are paid for by the state, and we'll put a voucher into your account. We'll talk about that in a minute to cover the cost of that test. The official GED test is just twice as long as the practice test. There is a written response in the language arts section. It's about 45 minutes. It is typed, but you can do 2-finger typing. You have plenty of time for that. About 3 paragraphs is all that's required. Math has 2 sections, a very short section without a calculator, and then a longer section where you can use a calculator. You can also use a calculator on the science and social studies parts of the test. This test, unlike the practice test, which we can deliver in the office, must be scheduled through the GED testing service, and that means you also have to give them 24 hours notice if you want to reschedule a test. If you don't show up, it counts as a failed test. The tests, while they're similar, are different. Practice tests are half the size, and they get half the time, except for the essay part. The passing score of 145 is the same for both tests. You can reschedule a practice test whenever you need to. However, the official test requires 24 hours notice to reschedule. Another thing about the GED program, we are partnered with the community colleges to offer the GED Plus program. You can get a college level certification in specific career sectors. These are some of the ones available. Just let us know if you want to participate in that program, and we can discuss it later on. Does that sound like a lot so far? Well, just keep in mind this very important slide. What an excellent question. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So remember that the GED test is designed to be done in sections. If you feel overwhelmed, don't try to eat the elephant all at once. Just pick 1 section to work on, or 1 topic within a section, until you feel comfortable with that, and then move on to the next part. When you set up a GED.com account, you will go to any web browser, type GED.com in the address bar, then click on the Sign Up button to start the process. Later on, once your account is established, you'll use the Login button, but for now, you'll need the Sign Up button. If you have any question about information that's being asked or how to fill it in, just give us a call at 878-9134 for Laurel County or 545-6032 for Knox or 549-1989 for Whitley County. In that account there are some tutorials, and there's also some study modules that will help you prepare for the test. And when you're ready, just give us a call and we will put in a voucher code to cover the cost of the test. Now, that was just a brief overview of what we're going to do. Now we're going to look at some details. This is the page that you'll get when you type in GED.com in your address bar. Here's where you click the sign up button. This is the sign up page. You'll put an email address in here, must be a valid email address, and you'll put a password in here. Now we suggest you use a simple, easy to remember password like ABCD1234 so that you'll be able to get in and out of your account, and so that if we need to access it for any reason, we'll be able to get in and make changes for you on the fly. After you have finished the demographic questions, you'll come across this page, the location-specific questions, and the state of Kentucky requires you to provide a social security number or tax identification number in this space. Just remember not to put dashes in, only numbers. So just put it in just like that, all numbers, and then click the continue button. This page is where you set your testing prep center. Once you put your zip code in, you'll give it a choice of Laurel County, Knox County, or Whitley County. Just select one of those and then scroll down to get to the continue button at the bottom of the page. This page takes a little bit of information that you may not have accessible easily. So if you have disabilities, learning disabilities or physical disabilities, you can request changes to the test environment. However, that requires documentation from a physician or a psychologist, which you may not have available at the time you're setting up your account. So just click no, and if you do require an accommodation, talk to your college and career navigator and we will help you get those accommodations set up. Alright, this page is your home page, and we have selected the More button in order to show you where the tutorials are. Under Test Tips, you'll see a tutorial and a calculator tutorial. That's good background information about the general structure of the test and the calculator that will be provided for you by the testing service. Here's where you'll get more specific information. If you click on the Study button and then the Study Materials, you'll find a study guide by subject for each of the 4 subjects: language arts, social studies, science, and everybody's favorite, math. Alright, within that study module, you will have a discussion about the test structure and the types of questions that are going to be asked and what skills those questions are measuring. You'll also see that there are free practice questions. Once you have completed the modules, try those practice questions. It'll give you an idea of what the test will be like. You'll see to the right hand side a GED practice test button. We suggest that you call us before you set up a practice test, so we will be able to input a test voucher for you to cover the cost of the practice test. Now, this is one of my favorite pages. This is the college and career page. If you go to the More button and select college and careers, you'll find a PathSource Hub career assessment program that will ask you for interests and prepare from your interests a selection of occupations that may be something that you'd be interested in pursuing, and we can help you with that. Now, the next step after orientation is to, and you complete your GED.com account, will be to set up an assessment test. We are not currently doing in-person assessment testing during this coronavirus social distancing time period. So just when you're ready, give us a call. We will let you know when we will start in-person testing again. The number for London is 878-9134. If you are closer to the Corbin Center, you can call 528-0379. That's near the Kentucky Fried Chicken original restaurant. For assessment testing at the Knox County Center, please call 545-6032. If you're from Whitley County and you need assessment testing, please call 549-1989. And that's all we have for today. So let us know if you have any troubles with it. Give us a call at those numbers, and we'll be happy to get you through this process as quickly and efficiently as possible. Thank you very much for watching this orientation.